Hi, guys. Good evening. There have been several new documents that just dropped on the state of Idaho versus Brian Koberger. Some of them are, pretty standard, but a couple of these have me really scratching my head. So let's take a look and see what's going on. And you tell me what you think, okay? All right, so this is another request. Let's see, it's just the same one that the other media outlet did. This one is from KXLY, and they wanted permission to do everything, but they got the same exact permission to access the courtroom camera and record and then, share it later. So no live broadcasting is allowed from this one either. No photographs. They can just record and then share it later. That's to be expected. Now, the next one is one of them that really got me to shake my head. I'm going to hold off on that one for just a moment. We'll come right back to it. That goes with that, and that goes with that. And then that goes with that. Okay, so yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and do this one first then. All right, so the state filed this notice of intent not to cross-examine defense witnesses, district court decision, which is the attached exhibit, and records to explain witness contact. He is referring to Vargas. Listen to what he says. At the hearing on the state's motion for a protective order and defendant's third motion to compel, held on August 18, 2023, the court allowed the state to reserve cross-examination of two witnesses, Gabriela Vargas, who the defense disclosed without a CV or resume the day before the hearing, and Leah Larkin, for whom the defense disclosed a PowerPoint presentation for the first time during her direct examination. The state has determined that it need not cross-examine either of these witnesses. Okay, why? The state made a big deal that Miss Vargas had recanted some of her testimony. Remember? I will link to that video above. So look for that above. Why would he not want to bring Miss Vargas back for cross-examination if she has signed documents, as he indicated at the last hearing, that she was taking back some of her testimony and that things were in the documents that she signed that she really didn't mean or whatever? Go back. I will, I think I need to add a clip of that to show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so Ann Taylor brought it up. She said that Miss Vargas stated that two FBI agents showed up at her house and interrogated her. The state said, no, it was just an interview. He admitted that he sent them out there, but he said it was just an interview because she had made statements to people online or electronic methods. Not really sure what he's talking about, text or online, but he's stating that she was repudiating or taking back some of her testimony and some of her affidavit. So why would he now back off of that and say, never mind, we don't need to talk to her? Is it because Ann is correct? Is it because he does not want Gabriela Vargas to get up on that stand again and get to tell the whole world about that visit from the FBI? I'm not thinking that, Gabrielle Vargas has me thinking she's over there going, I'm not the one. I am not the one to mess with. I will tell the truth. I will tell what happened. I mean, she's not the one to show up at her house and try to intimidate her. That's the vibe that I'm getting from that. That she has already made it clear that if they bring her back, she is going to tell the truth. So that's another point that I am putting in Ann Taylor's column. I think she was probably telling the truth about that. What do you think? I wasn't sure because she used the word interrogate, and then the state got up and used the word interview. And if you remember, I said the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Well, based on this, he doesn't want to cross examine her or Leah Larkin. He's just accepting their testimony as it stood without any cross examination. It's kind of unusual. The state has determined that it need not cross examine either of these witnesses. All right. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think that that's what it means? Do you think he's like, oh, I better just leave this alone? We don't want her to get up on the stand and, tell about the FBI showing up at her house at night instead of calling her into the office? What if there's no proof of his claims? Interesting. All right. And it moves, he changes the subject for a moment, but then he does address this again. So let's keep reading. In addition, the state mentioned during its argument at the hearing that Judge Whitney in Canyon County ruled on a similar issue 1 week prior to the hearing, and that the state would provide the written ruling once available. The transcript of that hearing is now available, and the relevant portion of the transcript is attached as Exhibit A. All right. Now, here's another part of it right here that he addresses directly. He says, finally, at the hearing on August 23rd, 2023, defense counsel suggested in open court that the state had improperly contacted Ms. Vargas. The state has attached under seal as Exhibit B the reports and other records that explain the contact. So they were able to get, so I want you to kind of think about this. They can't get the FBI to hand over any information on what the defense is wanting, right? They're not giving, or even, y'all, my mind is blown right now. The irony is astounding if you think about it this way, and I'm trying to explain it the way I'm thinking it. The state has no problem getting something that helps them. Records and reports and things that they're now saying is going to explain away the visit to her house. All right. But the defense is wanting more information on the other DNA samples that were found, quote, inside the house where the victims were located, unquote. The language on that is rather ambiguous, so I don't want to debate that. But the state is saying that they didn't get anything back from the FBI on the other two samples, so there's nothing to hand over. That doesn't make any sense either. It said that they did run all the samples, and they did find out that they were male, but they're unidentified. So why would they not look into that more? Why would they not do IgG, genetic genealogy, on those samples and figure out who they are? Or provide proof that they tried and here's why it failed, or we didn't find anything, something. You know what I mean? All right. So the state would ask this court to grant the can't talk tonight, y'all. Requested protective order or permit the state to present the information it seeks to protect to the court in in-camera hearing, which means in private. And then they attach this long transcript from another case. And let me see if I can find the other. They kind of make the same arguments in here, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I'm going to put a link to this in the description. There's no reason for me to read this whole thing. So, it talks about the investigation or it being a tip. The other case did mention that, and that's the state's case on this side as well. Right here. Regarding the investigation of the case, no evidence the state will or in this case not be introducing at trial, because we know we will not be introducing any of this evidence at trial. That is why we believe it is not discoverable and is immaterial to the defense's preparation. So there's another case going on right now that they used IGG on, and I am going to dig into it and look up the case and see what that's about. It was on State of Idaho versus David Allen Dalrymple. Definitely going to pull that up. It's out of the county of Canyon, Idaho. David Allen Dalrymple. Interesting. So they're just showing that, hey, judge, we made this argument in this other case, and the judge signed off on it, so you should too. Basically is what they're saying. All right, so let me move on to the other document here. This is their motion to seal. What they say explains the visit to Ms. Vargas's home, and the judge did agree and sign off on that. He put a temporary order sealing Exhibit B. So now we're going to move to this one. This is interesting. So the media already did a motion to intervene back in June for a different hearing, and they were successful at that time. Now there's more media. This is the Associated Press, radio, television, digital news, Sinclair Media, States Newsroom, Idaho Capital Sun. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of them, right? It goes into page 2. There's Scripps Media, the New York Times, a whole bunch of them, right? CNN. So they are, says, proposed interveners move the court for an order continuing the September 1st, 2023 hearing date on the defendant Brian C. Koberger's motion to remove cameras from the courtroom. Proposed interveners separately are moving to intervene for the limited purpose of opposing Mr. Koberger's motion. Ann Taylor wants the cameras out of the courtroom now. Don't know why. She's sealing everything up as well. It doesn't make sense on either side right now. And they are opposing that, and they want permission to be able to argue their side. So I like what they say. I'm going to keep reading. The motion was filed August 24, 2023, with a hearing set 8 days later. Although proposed interveners are responding as quickly as they can, counsel will be out of town September 1st for long scheduled travel. Let's see, they're seeking additional time to fully respond to the motion, and they are asking for a continuance of at least 1 week. Now, there was more on this, I believe. Yeah, I think this is it. Motion to intervene. Same. Let's see, there's 13 of them now. 13 listed. Okay, filed August 24th. Now they're going to go into case law. They cited the Associated Press versus the Second Judicial District. States that they made clear that even absent a specific rule in Idaho, intervention by the media on a limited basis is appropriate to defend the public's right to access and free speech. I love that. Let me go down. Given the high-profile nature of this case, the public's interest in watching what is happening in the courtroom, and Kohberger's fundamental right to a fair trial by an impartial jury. Missed a part of it. Maybe. No, I think it's fine. It says Mr. Kohberger asked this court to remove the cameras on the grounds that the media have failed to heed the court's admonishment, quote, not to focus strictly on Mr. Kohberger and to show a wide shot of the courtroom if they wished to continue filming court proceedings live. Motion at 2, Mr. Kohberger's subsequent citations to various media and social media publications do not support this position, however. Yes. For example, Mr. Kohberger cites a Fox News article that describes the court's statement to photographers and camera persons that they should not focus exclusively on Mr. Kohberger. That Fox News story does not focus strictly on Mr. Kohberger, however. It includes photos of Mr. Kohberger, Jay Logston, Ann Taylor, Alyssa Massis entering the courtroom, Santa Bill Thompson, let's see, the murder victims, Mr. Kohberger entering the courtroom, and a still shot from video of an Indiana law enforcement stop of the vehicle Mr. Kohberger and his father were in on December 15th, 2022. Okay, in addition, although Mr. Kohberger argues that he is, quote, entitled to defend himself against capital charges without cameras focused on his fly, unquote, that assertion misstates the role that courtroom camera coverage played in the X, formerly Twitter, social media post that appears at page 3 of his motion. No photographs or camera focused on Mr. Kohberger's fly, and that is true. Whoever made that little meme, they're the ones who cropped it down. The things that she entered in her motion, I noted the other day. I was like, this is wrong. And I like Anne. I like how she's doing a great job, but that was wrong. I think that was misleading. Or she didn't do her homework. I'm not sure. But this is what I said days ago, what they're saying here. One random X-user, and I haven't read this yet, one random X-user modified a photo showing Mr. Kohberger and a deputy entering the courtroom by cropping it, there we go, to a very small size, focus on his belt, and adding a reference to Mr. Kohberger's fly. Even the cropped photo itself does not focus on Mr. Kohberger's fly. Thank you. And hello, free speech. You can take a photo of anybody and do whatever the heck you want with it and post it online. People do that all the time, all over YouTube. A lot of it's harassing and whatever, but it is still it's free speech. And I personally thought it's just a funny juvenile sophomoric joke. I love memes. I love jokes. Doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Okay, so, and a broader review of media coalition stories following this court's June 27th, see they already entered in June, shows that the media coalition participants and other longtime media outlets had followed the court's direction. Okay, then they give some examples of how they have definitely followed the court's direction. And believe me, if they were focusing like up his nose like they were with somebody else recently, I can't remember her name. I mean, they were really zooming in on that woman. I don't remember who she was. Let's see. Okay. Experience not the large. To intervene. Oh, nice. Many of the outlets who seek to intervene have significant experience broadcasting live courtroom proceedings, including in high-profile trials that resulted in both acquittals. See? That was Rittenhouse and Skylar Richardson. And convictions. Alex Murdaugh. Excellent points. Excellent points. Their camera equipment and operators are experienced and not the large, clunky, numerous camera equipment operators that the Supreme Court addressed concern about in Estes. Oh, throwing some shade that this is the one that Anne had brought up. Okay. In fact, let's see, there were 12 camera operators in that courtroom. Wow. The equipment used was noisy. There were cables laying out all over the room, it says. Yeah, it sounds like it was a mess. Okay. It says that what they're using is less intrusive. All right, nice. They made some good arguments there. Let me see if there's anything else at the bottom here. Oh, okay. They did some. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're the ones that shared that pretty picture of Anne. Great picture of Santa Claus. There's our sweet victims we need to remember. Every time I see them, I have to stop and say their names. Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Ethan Chapin, Santa Kernodle. And quite frankly, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. All victims. Just 2 survived being victims. Okay. That picture always makes me giggle. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's it. Is it? There was one more. Oh, this is just the order, the same one that they did the last hearing, where the judge sent out the information only for the defendant's immediate family members and the victims' families. So this is the one that I got wrong last time, and I thought that number 3 meant that there would be no recording or live streaming of the proceedings, but they're only talking about Zoom. Nobody is allowed to share or live stream from that. Okay, so anyway, that is it. Not even sure how long I talked, but I wanted to cover all of the bases on anything new. Let me refresh one more time before I finish my video. Okay, that is it. All right, guys, so tell me what you think. I'm going to go back and recap really quick. This is the one where the state says that the state has determined that it need not cross-examine either of these 2 witnesses, and that's Gabriela Vargas and Leah Larkin, which is really interesting because Miss Vargas is the one who said that the FBI visited her home, and I'm wondering now why he's backtracking, because he says here they've attached under seal Exhibit B, the reports and other records that explain the contact. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. It is quite weird. Very, very, very weird to send the FBI to somebody's home after they testify in a case this prolific. And then also we have, I think it's this one. Nope, this one, motion to intervene by a whole bunch of media outlets. They want to move the court date from the 1st of September, which is day after tomorrow, as of the time of this video. So Friday's hearing, if it gets granted, wouldn't happen. They want at least a week, it says. At least 1 week to a date convenient to the court and the parties. I'm not sure if they're going to get this motion, but we'll see. But they're saying they didn't get enough notice to make it work to be there, so they want more time. They oppose the defendant's motion to remove the cameras, and Just there's the Zoom thing again. And that's it. All right, you guys, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening. I really appreciate you. Hit that like button for me too if you don't mind. Thank you. And oh, and by the way, look at my community section. Please, there is a post up there regarding my first giveaway that I'm doing right now. Thanks. Bye.